Okay. I read in the Falenda book, so there is written the Master Lee written the book and the UFO, unknown flight object, UFO comes from the another star. So that's I want to know. That is I want to know what the you mean the except Earth, there is another human life in the other stars. That's I want to know about that.
I see. So your question is that when you read the book of Zhuan Falun, in the book of Zhuan Falun, you notice that Master Lee mentioned about UFO.
Yeah.
So you were just wondering whether it's real, that truly you heard about UFO, but you probably before thought that they are not real. Also we see movies about the aliens visiting the Earth in the UFO, those round-shaped discs. And you thought maybe those are only fiction stories, right? Science fiction stories. I was telling you prior we do the recording, I said, as a matter of fact, UFO right now in the Western world, at least in America, among all my friends, right? When we talk about UFO, they all have no problem acknowledging the true existence of UFO. And I also told you that I've been reading newspaper reports. On the newspaper report of both Chinese and the English language in America, they constantly mention about, different reports about people, witnessing the arrival of the UFO. And I said, U.S. government even have, records of the UFO visiting the Earth, and very specific records about different cases of people in America who have direct interaction with the aliens. I even read a report regarding some dead body of the aliens are kept by the U.S. government. And I think quite recently I even noticed that there was a report about U.S. government specifically addressing the subject of UFO and the reality of the aliens coming to visit the Earth. And I said that, as a matter of fact, to my understanding, the USA government, the USA government actually do interact with the visitors from other planets. Now, what are those other planets? How where are they? Are they in the solar system, or are they from the Milky Way? Right. Well, we are, the Earth is in the solar system, right? And, scientists, human scientists, they basically have been, trying to send out spaceship to, visit the other planets in the solar system, the nearby solar system, nearby planets in the solar system, right? We really cannot go too far right now based upon our current modern science and technology level. But in terms of aliens, they basically, they seems to be very advanced in terms of their science and technology, right? The spaceship comes and goes, instantly. And they are visible in one moment, and then they're suddenly invisible in another moment. So in the book of Zhuan Falun, yes, Master Lee mentioned about, I remember Master Lee mentioned about that, as a matter of fact, aliens, they are following a different path of science. That path, is very advanced. So currently, on the Earth, human science and technology, in comparison to the aliens, is very elementary. So that's why we cannot even, make a UFO that can actually enter into other dimension. But the aliens, they can actually, they can go through dimensions. From this space and time, they can penetrate into other space and time. That's why they are visible in one instant and they're not visible in another instant, right? So I remember Master Lee talks about the very fact that we human world, before, ancient time, our science and technology, the ancient time, the science and technology is very advanced. So the modern people consider that we're very advanced. Actually, not at all. I remember Master Lee said, this current Western, science, Western world science and technology, they are different from, the system is different from the ancient science and technology. For example, Master Lee mentioned about in the lecture 7, the man with a matchstick to take off the tooth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like with a bottle of, liquid thing with yellow vapor. The man just need to let the person like do like this, and then the vapor goes into the mouth, and then the man will take out a matchstick, and then just do a little bit of action, and the bad tooth will just fall out without any pain. So Master Lee made a comparison about the modern science, how advanced it is. You get zapped by the injection to make the mouth numbed up, and then you use very advanced drillers, right? And you try to take out the tooth, right, the rotten tooth, and sometimes the root got stuck in there, and then they need to have even more advanced drillers to drill it out, and it's very, very complicated and a very, very painful process to dig out a tooth. Use modern science and technology. But Master Lee pointed out that the man with the liquid with yellow vapor, with a one little matchstick, and without any pain, the tooth just come out. That's also science behind that action. You know what I mean? So those science are very advanced. Master Lee also mentioned about ancient medicine, Chinese medicine. You have those famous Chinese doctors. They actually very quickly, see when the patient comes. They look at the patients. They already see. They have their third eye open. So they very quickly scan the whole body and identify, layers upon layers of the body's, root cause of the ailment. And then they can do very advanced surgery. The book mentioned about, Hua Tuo, the very famous Chinese doctor. He met the emperor Cao Cao, and he looked at Cao Cao. He said, "You have a brain tumor. Let me open the brain and do brain surgery on you." And you can see, the time when Hua Tuo was around, Cao Cao was around, over 1,000 years ago, right? Hua Tuo already can do open brain surgery, okay? And he already see without X-ray, he already see that there's a brain inside his skull, So you can see, how advanced science and technology was at the time. If we call that science and technology, is because the time, the science that humanity had was a different way of science. The system is about directly look at human body as a universe. And so the advanced scientists at the time, they basically all possess superpower. Superpower, we call it supernatural ability. As a matter of fact, it's the innate ability that is associated with our human body. And at the ancient time, the people, they focus upon meditation. Remember yesterday our lecture was about Xing, mind and heart, mind, heart, Xing. And so yesterday our lecture is about Xing Jian, Xing Xiu, Xing Yan, Xing Ting, right? So that's what the ancient people's state of cultivation. They sit there, they look at their mind, their heart. They can listen to their heart. They can, talk to their heart. You know what I mean? So they have all this, inner system that cultivate. Once they cultivate, they purify their heart. Their system is very clear, and the energy of the universe naturally comes right to the human body. and the energy comes into the human body, and then they work with the energy, and then the energy is transformed into ability. So the ability is very powerful, you know. So that's why, you know, the Qigong masters, Master Li, early days when Master Li was not very well known in China, just came out as a Qigong master and teach Falun Gong to the Chinese general public. At the time in China, there were many Qigong masters. So Master Li came out, and Master Li introduced a new form of Qigong. And many other Qigong masters, they were taking a lot of students, they were charging money, they were, you know, doing their business, right? Master Li came out, charged no money, right? Nothing at all, and delivered the free, you know, teachings. And the Master Li also go to do healings to the people who were like a very good Samaritan. When they see bad people do bad things, they go do, you know, some good deeds and then got injured by the bad people. So Master Li went to heal those Samaritans, the heroes who save other people, and they got injured, they were, you know, handicapped and things like that. Master Li go heal their handicaps. So this is very amazing, you know, like what Jesus did, right? Healing people. Master Li did a lot of miraculous healings during the early stage of Falun Gong, you know, introduction. So those actually are all based upon profound human body science. Come back to the subject of the aliens. So what I was going to tell you is that, number one, UFO, for most American general publics, they all pretty much read about it, or they even encountered a UFO, and they encountered an alien. One of my you know, team members in Washington State, when he was a young man, they were playing on the farm, and then suddenly a UFO arrived. And the UFO is, he said, exactly like in the movie, you know. It suddenly showed up, like hovering over their head, and with the beams of the blue light over their head. They got so scared, they run, you know. They run, and then when they want to have a peek again, it's already gone, you know. So he said, yeah, you know. So stories like that. Some people were actually even kidnapped by the UFO. Some people, they got kidnapped, not only kidnapped, but even had a baby with the aliens. So all those cases were all now exposed and reported all over the world. So UFO no longer is a subject that people will start to say, oh, that is not true. No, most people accepted that's true, okay? And even US government accepted that to be true, and they have secret informations. You know, they have communications with the aliens as well. So next is a question about why the aliens want to come to the Earth. Pause. I want to specifically say that.